At the Alm Wheel Mill, through all those great years that we've had, we've always liked a bit of fun at our variety nights. And it's a pleasure to reintroduce this gentleman that's coming on because he's one of my favourites. He hails from that lovely Perthshire town of Pitlochry, and he's by far one of the busiest gentlemen in the Scottish showbiz scene today. You know him well. He's fondly known up and down the country as Scotland's son of fun. Will you please give a big welcome to the one and only Mr. Eddie Rose.
Good evening, how are you? Oh, by Jove, you're all well, that's super. Well, you know, Robert said I come from Pitlochry, and down in Pitlochry, they did a survey just recently there of why men get up during the night. And the answer that came up was that 10% get up to go to the toilet, 20% get up for a glass of water, and the other 70% get up to go home. I don't know if you were reading the paper or watching the television. Did you see that lady that put the cat in the wheelie bin? The council are chasing her now because she put it in the wrong bin. Well, there was two guys out having a wee game of golf the other morning in the golf course in Pitlochry. Lovely sunny morning, and there's two ladies up in front of them, and they're having what we would call in Scotland a good blether. And they're really talking away to one another and forgetting about the game of play. And the one guy said to the other, he said, look, we're going to have to ask these ladies either to move to the side or move on. He said, this is ridiculous. He said, holding everybody up. He says, I'm away to tell them. He said, well, on you go then. So away he went, he came back. He said, did you tell them? He said, no. You see, one is my wife. And the other one is a lady I'm going out with. He says, well, don't worry about it. I'll go and tell them. He says, well, okay then. So away he went, he came back. He said, did you tell them? He said, no, it's a small world. Willie and Sandy went along to the DHSS to get their death allowance, and Sandy says, look, I'll go in first, Willie, and see what this is like. So Sandy goes in first, the interviewer said, now, Sandy, could you shut the door? So Sandy got up and shut the door. He said, I'm sorry, Sandy, you failed. He said, what do you mean? Well, I asked you to shut the door, you've shut the door. He said, you're not deaf at all. You don't need a deaf allowance. Out you go. So Sandy goes out the waiting room. He said, look, Willie, whatever you do when you go in there, don't shut that door. Okay, don't shut the door. So Willie goes in, the interviewer said, now, William, could you shut the door? Willie says, shut the door yourself. Willie and Sandy are in conversation. Sandy says, you should go to night classes, you know. You learn a lot in night classes. She says, what do you mean? So I'll give you an example. He said, who is Obama? He said, Obama. She said, never heard of Obama. She said, you must have heard of Obama. He's the President of America. If you go to night classes, you would find these things out. Oh, he says, I see. She said, give you another example. He said, who wrote My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose? Oh, he says, I don't know. He says, well, it was our bard Robert Burns, of course. If you go to night classes, you would find these things out. Oh, he says, he says, can I ask you a question? He said, yes. He said, who's Willie Riley? He says, Willie Riley? He says, I don't know who Willie Riley is. He said, well, he's the guy who goes to see your wife when you're at the night classes. There's an old farmer who stays in a little village south of Pitlochry called Logie. And he got on the telephone the other morning and he says, hello, this is Logie 2424. I wonder, could you get me Interpol? And the lady in exchange said, just a minute, sir. Put on the local police station, see if they can help you. So the local police station came to the telephone and said, hello, can we help you? The old man says, hi, hello, this is Logie 2424. I wonder, could you get me Interpol? He said, well, just a minute, we'll have to put on a headquarters down in Dundee. So on came Dundee. Bro, can I help you? He said, this is Logie 2424. I wonder, could you get me Interpol? He said, well, just a minute, put on our headquarters down in London. So on came Scotland Yard. They said, hello, this is Scotland Yard. Can we help you? The little man says, hi, hello, this is Logie 2424. I wonder, could you get me Interpol? He said, well, just a minute. Eventually get him through to France, through to Interpol. Interpol came on the telephone and said, hello, this is Interpol. Can we help you? The old man says, hello, this is Loggery, 2424. I wonder, could you send the wife a bunch of flowers? It's her birthday tomorrow. And there's another farmer just north of Pitlochry in a place called Blair Athol, and he had this cow, and the cow was supplying him with milk all the time. Great cow it was, and all of a sudden it went dry, as they talk about nowadays. And so he saw this cow advertised in Forfar for £250, and he went away and he bought it and he brought it home, and by Joves it was producing bucket after bucket of milk. And he said to his wife, he says, we'll need to get some caffy waffies off of this cow, because he says, my goodness, he said, she's producing great milk, but we're not going to have the same problem again. And he took her to meet the bull, you see, and when the bull came up behind her, she walked away. When the bull went to the front, she walked backwards. When the bull went to that side, she went to this side, and vice versa. And he thought, this is ridiculous. And he got a hold of the vet, and the vet came, and he said, look, he says, when that cow there, when the bull comes up behind it, it walks away. And he says, it goes to the front, it walks backwards. And it goes to that side, she goes to that side, and vice versa. And the vet said, that's a Forfar cow, isn't it? He says, how do you know? He says, my wife's a Forfar. But you never know the minute. The guy going into Forfar one day and he fancied a Forfar bridie. Now, he put his hand in his pocket, he had no money, and he took out his credit card and he wound the window down and he said to this guy, excuse me, is there a TSB in Forfar? The guy said, no, there's 2 F's and 2 R's. Well, you never know the minute. And the school's back again. The schools are all back, and the teacher in Pitlochry High School said to the class the other day there, she says, I want you to make up a little poem. Stanley, could you make up a little poem? So Stanley stood up, he said, my name is Stan. When I grow up to be a man, I want to go to America and Japan. If I can. I think I can. I know I can. She says, very good, that's lovely. Sadie, what have you written? My name is Sadie. When I grow up to be a lady, I want to have a baby. If I can, I think I can, I know I can. She says, very good, that's lovely. It's always one in the class. Daniel, what have you written? My name is Dan. When I grow up to be a man, I don't want to go to America or Japan. I want to help Sadie with her plan. If I can. I think I can. The teacher said, okay, class, she said, I want you to, anyone who can answer these next questions can go home early. So she said, the first question is, who said, I have a dream? And little Mary's up with her hand, please, miss, I know who that was. That was Martin Luther King. She said, very good, Mary, away you go. You're free to go home early, away you go. And wee Johnny standing there saying, I could have answered that, I could have answered that, I could have answered that. And the teacher said, now then, who said we will fight on the beaches? And little Priscilla's up with her hand, please, miss. That was Sir Winston Churchill. She said, very good, Priscilla, away you go, you're free to go home early. And wee Johnny's getting really annoyed. I could have answered that, I could have answered that. The teacher said, now then, who said a big step for mankind? And little Lucy's up with her hand, please, miss. That, of course, was Neil Armstrong when he stepped on the moon. She said, very good, super, you're free to go home early as well. Away you go, Lucy. And wee Johnny, by this time, is really champing at the bit. He said, oh, I could have answered all these, I could have answered all these. And the teacher turned to write on the blackboard, and wee Johnny turned to the class and he said, I wish these bitches would keep their mouths shut. The teacher said, and who on earth said that? He said, Tiger Woods, can I go now, miss? My idol was the late and great Andy Stewart, and unfortunately we lost him in 1993, and he left a legacy of songs behind. He wrote over 200 songs for Scotland. And we're going to do a wee medley of them now. Not the 200, but one or two of them anyway. If you recognise them, please feel free to join in. They go something like this. In a far distant land by a fair and golden strand, there I met a Hieland laddie in the morning, and he sang me his song as he proudly marched along, of a land of lochs and glens and silver seas. Take me back again, where heather hills are high, and I'll hear the mavis singing in the morning. Oh, there's no place in earth like the homeland of my birth. Oh, my Scotland, I am coming home to you. Everybody clap. Take me back again, where heather hills are high, and I'll hear the mavis singing in the morning. For there's no place in earth like the homeland of my birth. Oh, my Scotland, I am coming home to you. Now when the pipes are ringing and the kilts are swinging and your heart is singing as you gaily march along, you can hear the story that is brave and roary and the tunes of glory of an old Scots song. You're standing near the banjo ever, hear them you want to cheer them as you feel the glory there. The rhythm trills when the drum beats fills when the music trills of the old black bear. Brave are the honours we carry before us, brave are the hearts that lived in the chorus. Hear them playing, hear them sing, that is the story in the tunes of glory. If you're standing near the banjo ever, hear them you will want to cheer them as you feel the glory there. The rhythm trills when the drum beats fills when the music trills of the old black bear. Brave are the honours we carry before us, brave are the hearts that lived in the chorus. Hear them playing, hear them sing, that is the story in the tunes of glory. I've just come in from the Isle of Skye. I'm no very big, but I'm awful shy. A lassie shout when I go by. Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low, through the streets in the kilt I'll go. All the lassies shout hello. The lassies who want me, everyone, let them catch me if they can. You can't take a breeks off a Hieland man, and I don't wear the truthers. Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low, through the streets in the kilt I'll go. All the lassies shout hello. I had a cold, my nose was raw, I had no handkerchief at all. Sat up in my kilt and I gave it a blow. You can't do that, we're true. Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low, through the streets in the kilt I'll go. All the lassies shout hello. I went to a fancy ball and it was slippery in the hall, and I was feared that I would fall, cause I had nae on my truther. Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low, through the streets in the kilt I'll go. All the lassies shout hello. Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low, through the streets in the kilt I'll go. All the lassies shout hello. Don't know where's your true